Hi and welcome, this is Jennifer McGuire. Today's product release close-up video gives you a closer look and some ideas for using the newest products from Mama Elephant. This includes holiday and non-holiday, and there's some really good ones in it. So let's get started. First, we have Blogging Buddies. This is a stamp set that is great for anybody who has lots of friends out on the internet or are part of the crafting world. You can use all these tiny images together with these sentiments, or these sentiments can be used alone. There are some sentiments in here that I've never seen in another stamp set, so it makes it very unique. You could create a lot of very simple, playful cards with this stamp set. What I'm looking forward to doing is stamping that computer screen, the keyboard, and the mouse, and actually cutting the computer screen open and turning that into a shaker card and putting lots of little hearts that kind of shake inside. Then you could stamp the sentiment that says, "So happy we're friends online and in real life." I also want to stamp those two little card images with little smiley faces on them to send to a fellow card maker. This is going to be a really popular set, I think. And of course, there's a coordinating die set available also. Next, we have the Mini Messages stamp set. Now, this one is available only over on Mama Elephant as part of a promotion, so be sure to check that out. You'll be able to buy this in other stores starting next month. Same with the mini tag set that you see there on the left. Now, I'm always looking for mini messages like this, small images that you can squeeze into tight places on cards, and this pretty much covers all the different greetings that you could want. I also think it'd be fun to take those little flowers in the center and form them into cute little wreath, like a heart-shaped wreath, and put a little sentiment in the center. Here are the mini tags that coordinate with this so well. It fits perfectly, and you can just add a tag to a card anywhere. Okay, well, I will admit that when I first saw this product release, the stamp set that made me smile the most is the Little Edibles stamp set. This is just the most playful, fun stamp set I've ever seen. A bunch of tiny little images of tiny little fruit with tiny little faces on them. Not only fruit, but lots of things. Hot dogs, French fries, sushi, donuts, you name it. It's got a smiley face on it. So much fun. This would work well with the mini tags and also the Mini Messages stamp set. But what I plan to do is stamp some of these little images on cards along with some playful sentiments, maybe some from that Blogging Buddies stamp set that I showed you earlier, for note cards for my kids' lunch. I also like this Mama Elephant brushstroke stamp set. Now, there are a lot of brushstroke stamp sets out there, but I like that this one has a lot of dots in it. And what you can do is stamp some of these dots with a light colored ink and then stamp some of these little edible images on top of it. And you can form a fun background or a fun little tag with that. Be sure to check out the Mama Elephant blog, which I'll link to. There are a lot of fun ideas for using these stamp sets, especially the little edibles. They have one where a panda is juggling some of those little edibles. It's so cute. Next, we have Reindeer Games, which is one of the most well-designed stamp sets I've ever seen. The reason I say this is that there are pairing of images, so you can stamp two and they're symmetrical. This comes in handy if you want to make spinner cards. Now, you could use these images for non-spinner cards, but I want to show you a spinner card here. So I created this card, which I'm going to be teaching at the Create event. It's a Simon Says Stamp event. And when you make a spinner card or a suspended element card, I've done these many times in the past in videos, and I'll link to them so you can see, you have an image that spins around. It's just kind of suspended there with string. Well, when you usually make these, you need something symmetrical, so you can glue two together, front to back. Well, here, they've provided the reindeer facing both ways, so you can stamp both and then glue them together back to back, and it's perfect for a spinner card, and I'm so excited by this. And again, I'll link to a video below where I show how to create a spinner card, and stay tuned because I'll definitely be using these Reindeer Games images to create a spinner card here on my YouTube channel very soon. I think this is going to be another very popular set. Now, this next set called Christmas Scenes would be perfect for coloring the perfect holiday scene. You have everything you need here. But I also think it would be beautiful just to keep it very simple and just maybe gold heat emboss some of these images on some really nice textured white cardstock for something just beautiful and stunning. Or you can team them up for something playful with like maybe the reindeer flying overhead. Next, we have Christmas Script. This has been a very popular style of characters for Mama Elephant lately, so now they have the little elves in this series. What I want to use this stamp set for are the coordinating little images. So you've got the sled here and these tiny little penguins that are adorable that you can put on that sled, the little presents and such. And you can use that sled with any other characters that you may have, maybe the reindeer in the other stamp set or any characters you have in your stamp collection already. I really like to build scenes like that. And there are a lot of perfect little elements here. I also like that Merry Christmas image along the bottom too. And by the way, I think these little elves look great with Google eyes. I just wanted to mention that. I think they're perfect to have little Google eyes on. If you really like coloring, another stamp set that would be good for you is the Mama Elephant Festive Mice Set. I like that this is a completely different look than the other stamp sets, so I feel like there's something for everybody here. What's fun in this one is the little mouse sleeping, and then he has the little dream bubble above of a piece of cheese all wrapped up, which I just think is so much fun. There are some cute samples using this over on the Mama Elephant blog, which once again I will link to. And by the way, you see this string of lights up here? I plan to use that along with the reindeer from Reindeer Games for a completely different card. Okay, so now we have Jingle Greetings. I'm really excited about this one. I think they're beautiful handwritten sentiments teamed up with a nice basic font. I used this Merry Christmas from Our Family to Yours on this card that you see here, which will be coming to my YouTube channel very soon, so stay tuned. I also really like the warm wishes for a merry holiday season along the bottom. I plan to just use the warm wishes alone, just cut that stamp apart, and use that warm wishes along with a lot of my holiday stamp sets so that I can create cards that are just nice to send out in the holiday season, not necessarily for the holidays themselves. I also really like this Twinkle Town stamp set because it's a traditional look. It's really pretty. You can stamp the ornament and put two different scenes inside of the ornament. You can also stamp the branch and the pine needles and kind of build up a scene like I did on this card here. I used a sentiment in the center of it there. Another thing that you could do with this stamp set is to stamp that ornament and turn it into a shaker card. So you have like a shaker ornament with little stars and sequins inside. You could also create a window card with that ornament. There is a coordinating die that is available for this and also cuts the words "Oh Joy." So I think this one is one you can kind of change and stretch the look to do more cutesy or more traditional. Next, we have the window watching die set. I really like die sets like this one because you die cut it and what you're left with are really intricate pieces that look like you spent a lot of time putting together, but you didn't. I think it'd be fun to die cut this window and have one of those reindeers from the Reindeer game behind it. So it looks like you're looking outside into a night sky and you see Rudolph flying by. It has the shutters, the little awning, the little flower box. You can put this together in many different ways. Perfect for a holiday scene. Next, we have Pizazz pieces. I also like die sets like this because there are a lot of different options together. The large outside frame cuts tiny little dots around the edge, and that cuts a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece, perfect to put on the front of a note card. You can see there's also the banner element, so you can make a holiday banner with the holes at the top. I also like the double stitch circle. That circle in the center cuts a stitching on both sides of the cut line. You also have this intricate, it's got like a zigzag edge and the stitching together. And you have this fun little banner that you could stamp a little greeting on and kind of hook through a string on a card. So this has a lot of different die cutting elements together in one set, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. Next, we have Fine Trimmings. Now, this is the die set that I'm most excited about in this release. So there are 3 border dies here. One does a faux stitched scalloped edge, one does a bunch of little cut holes, and then one does a faux stitched border. I kept them connected together and ran them through my die cut machine together so you could see what they each look like. You can use your wire clippers to cut them apart and use them individually, but I thought for this example and this card that you see here to keep them connected together. So there you can see what it looks like. I just think it's a fun little bit of interest that you can add along the edge of a card. You'll be seeing me use this a lot in future videos, especially the one that cuts those little holes. I think it's a fun little interest to add to your card. Now we have Snowcapped Mountains. I really like border dies that are great for building a scene, and this is one like I haven't seen before, I don't have in my collection. You can use the border to cut the mountains, and then it also cuts those little snow caps with the faux stitching along the edge. So you could have the reindeer flying through the sky, you could put little houses along this. A lot of fun, and you don't need to use it just for your holiday cards. And finally, we have the Merry die cut. I've always been a huge fan of the Mama Elephant handwritten dies. I think they're absolutely beautiful, very unique. Now this one I think would be gorgeous, being die cut from maybe a red foil cardstock or a red glitter cardstock. If you don't have that, you could cover your die cut with red glitter embossing powder or red stickles. I think it's just beautiful and a great elegant touch on a card. So that wraps up this release. Remember to stay tuned. Very soon I will have a video showing how I created these cards with these products, and also I'll do a Reindeer Games spinner card. I hope this was helpful in helping you decide if any of these products are right for you and some ideas on how to use them. If you're interested in the products, I'd link them below in my description and over on my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.